Hey guys, welcome to Ozzie Reviews. I'm back. I've obviously got a big smile on my face because, I've been through absolute hell this last sort of 4, almost 5 months. So I know a lot of you guys are asking like, what the hell happened to me and everything. So look, I'm going to give you a little bit of a rundown on it in this video. I'm going to talk about a whole heap of issues going on right now in the shooting world. And we'll just address a few new things here at Ozzie Reviews, okay? So first of all, let me talk about the health stuff, okay? Because that is the big burning question. So what happened to me? All right, so back in December 2022, basically I was here on the farm. I was doing some work around the farm and everything. That night I'm inside, short of breath, and I collapsed. And basically I was still conscious, but I had a lot of trouble breathing. Long and short of it all, okay, I'm going to try to keep this as really short as possible because no one wants to sit here and listen to me go into all the details for about half an hour. Basically, the size of my fist, I had a cyst on my liver, and the size of my fist, a cyst on my lungs, okay? Now, they ended up being non-cancerous, but they had to remove them. Now, the one on my lung had burst, okay? So I had 700 mils of liquid fill up my lungs, hence why I couldn't breathe. So when the ambulance came, they got me to the hospital. I was in a pretty bad way, not able to breathe. My lungs had pretty much shut down at this stage. Yeah, breathing and just in general, everything became really, really difficult. Now, keep in mind the lead up to this a few months prior, I wasn't recovering with fitness, I wasn't recovering with work around the farm, and I was just scratching my head going, what's going on? What is wrong with me here? So what happened was basically it was a little bit of a blur there because I honestly thought at that stage that was it. I was going to die. I was in a pretty bad way. Long story short, after that, I ended up in a coma for 2 weeks. That was the most difficult thing I've ever had to endure in my life. Basically, when I woke up, I was 17 kilos lighter than what I am now. And I couldn't even move my arms, my legs, nothing. You just can't move anything. You're just basically a vegetable lying there in a hospital bed. The craziest thing about it was I had all the new Ozzie Reviews rifle bags coming in during that stage, and I had the supplier phoning me going, where the hell are you? You've just fallen off the face of the planet. Well, yeah, I was in a coma. So when I woke up and checked my phone, I had 326 voice messages from a lot of friends, family, and also different, businesses. So, yeah, it was just crazy. But the problem was, I couldn't even use my hands properly. That's temporarily gone when you've been in a coma for that amount of time. Obviously, after a few weeks, everything comes back and it's all good. So that was the first step. Then I had an operation not too long after that where I basically had on my lung, the middle right lobe of my lung completely removed. That was a hell of a operation, that one, I tell you. But you know what? I was like one day out of ICU and here I was outside the hospital doing hill repetitions, like walking up and down, refusing to give up, just refusing to give up. That was just the start of yet another operation to come. A couple of weeks after that, I then had half of my liver removed, okay, which is obviously going to regenerate over time, but it's a hell of an operation and there's a lot of pain. And I must admit, even now, if I'm sort of putting a lot of strain on my stomach area and muscles there, I feel like pain in the stomach and that, but that's natural. It's going to take a couple of months to get over that, okay? So that's a very short and condensed version of what went on, guys. It was a hell of a ordeal to go through. Basically, when I was in that coma there, my family thought they were going to lose me. So did a lot of close, friends. So I had, I guess, my inner circle of friends and family come to my aid very much so without me even knowing what the hell was going on. And they tried the best they could to, be able to support me and still keep things above board here on the farm, in the sense of, you know, keep things turning over and do the basics and, you know, all that sort of stuff. It was a hell of an unexpected thing to happen. So hence why I suddenly just fell out of the loop there. It was a really, really hard time, you know, pushing through it. But as I said, like, my mentality is you just don't give up. You just keep pushing harder and harder and get through it, you know, which I did. So, you know, I'm back. My health and everything is all good now. It's all behind me. I've had other scans and everything like that. Doctors are very, very happy with it. And in their words, I've made miraculous recoveries after every single operation. So they were pretty impressed with the determination that I had. And look, at the end of the day, why am I determined? Because that's just how I am. I'm determined to still do things, you know, here. I don't want to die. Obviously, I've got no intentions of doing that. I've got a lot of plans for the channel, especially, and my personal life. And yeah, the last thing I'm going to do is throw in the towel. That's just not going to happen. So guys, let's move on to the next topic now. And the gun bags. Okay, I have completely sold out of the pistol bags, also the shotgun bags, completely gone. I really don't think I'll be getting pistol bags back in. Shotgun bags at this stage, probably not. I don't know. If there's a demand later on, we might look at it. But the biggest seller by far is the rifle bags. I mean, I've sold hundreds of these rifle bags, and you know, they're obviously very, very great quality. $119 they are now. They've gone up from $99. I can't do anything about it. I've been hit way more for shipping, so unfortunately I can't do much about that. I've also only got 10 Ozzie Reviews M4 bags left as well. These are really good quality and work great with pistol grip straight pull shotguns. Also, if you've got like a straight pull or an actual real AR, then perfect for that, because it gives you that height in the bag to accommodate it. And it also works great with like the Tikka A1 tack that have the foldable stocks on them. You can actually fit them neatly into one of our bags. So let me give you a real close-up look at the bags, and we'll move on to the next topic that I need to cover. So as you can see with the M4 bag, it's very nicely presented in that dry-as-a-bone type material. We also have the Australian piece of leather there with my logo branded onto it. We've got the external pouch there that you can obviously put different ammunition or accessories in. Unzipped, we've got two Velcro straps there that obviously hold the firearm in place. It's nicely lined. We've got Australian made wool to keep your firearm protected. Now the rifle bag, very similar. The dry as a bone type material, it's actually Australian oilskin. We've got Australian made wool that protects the firearm and gives it the padding. We've also got the Australian piece of leather with my logo branded onto it. An external pouch there for a bolt, or you know, perhaps a packet or two of ammunition depending on what caliber you're using. We've got the carry straps at the top, and this rifle bag is by far the most popular that I offer. Internally you can see that it's nicely cushioned, and it's just one of these bags that I had put a lot of thought into, because I wanted something that was a quality product that was going to last for a long, long time, and it's also something to help support my channel. Okay, now what's been happening in the shooting world? Obviously we've seen a lot of things happening while I've been out of it, I guess. WA, I mean, come on, what the hell is going on there, shooters? You know, you're in some real trouble over there, and if this isn't a wake-up call to not only shooters in WA, but shooters Australia-wide, to realise that they are not going to stop. They will just dream up newer and newer restrictions as the years pass, and you will be on the receiving end of them. My thoughts personally on WA with these caliber restrictions is a lot of people will look at it and go, oh, well, 338 Lapua, you know, all that sort of thing. I mean, who really wants or needs one of them? You're missing the point completely in my view. They will get it across the line by putting in reasonable restrictions in their view that won't affect a lot of shooters, because they just need to get it across the line. Why? Because it's like registration. It puts in place the building blocks for further restrictions as time goes on. So what do you think is going to happen as the years go on, especially in WA? You'll have 300 Win Mag. I bet you that will be the next thing that's targeted, and then it will just continue going down the line, and then it will get worse and worse and more restrictive for you to own the calibers that you love and enjoy, from target shooting to hunting. So guys, please, I don't know how many years I've been banging on about this. It's coming. It's getting worse. Like, the evidence is right in front of us. It's not me making this up. The evidence is right there with more and more and more restrictions. But you still have these shooters who still vote for the major parties. And they say, oh, well, my EB agreement at work relies on the Labor Party and all this sort of thing. Guys, if all the shooters voted for the pro firearm friendly parties, the majors aren't going to be completely voted out. They will still most likely have a majority, or they will have pretty much a majority but having to rely on some of those smaller parties, like the more gun-friendly parties, to get things across the line. So how do you think that's going to be in reality? You're still going to get across the line with, you know, EB agreements and all that sort of stuff that, you know, you're relying on those major parties for. However, you're going to have these minor parties able to say, okay, in return for our support on this piece of legislation, hey, we would like this supported. Do you see what I mean? Like, that's how it goes. So I just refuse to listen to shooters who just say, oh, but I need to vote Labor because, you know, our EB agreements at work, you know, rely on it. I mean, come on, guys, please. Like, look at what's happening in the world now. If you cannot see the skyrocketing costs of electricity, food, fuel, like, it's just out of control. And people go, oh, you know, that's why a lot of them vote Labor, for example. I mean, look, don't get me wrong, I'm not a massive fan of the LNP either. But all this money that they go, oh, we'll throw money at it, that everyone was enjoying while COVID lockdowns were on. What did I say in videos back then? Yeah, look at this hand with the free money, don't watch this hand. Of course they're going to plan ways to get that back through taxes and everything, because nothing's for free. And I just wish that more voters, especially shooters here in Australia, would just use their head and go, it's healthy to have competition in Parliament. So there's nothing wrong with having various parties with different views tabled when it comes time to decide on different laws and everything, rather than what we've got currently, like in WA. That's what happens when you have a majority, such as the ALP over there, the Labor Party. They don't care about what shooters say because they don't need you. They've got enough people in power to push any legislation they want across the line, and they don't care if it's the truth. They don't care how murky or grey the waters are. They will continue to push that across the line. Guys, I've said it before as well, if you are not a member of Shooters Union, why not? For the love of God, please just donate the money for a membership each year and help them actually get in there and fight. The guys do a tremendous job with, like, 98% of the people who work in that organisation are simply volunteers. I mean, I don't know how many times when I speak with Graham Park, he tells me about all the new stuff that they're doing and what they're working on, what they've done. You know, they obviously meet with the Dealers Association, see any issues there. They meet with the firearms registries, and then they oppose different restrictions that come in. They work harder for shooters who are having problems legality-wise. A lot of that stuff can't be actually openly spoken about it because there's court processes that they're going through. But I can guarantee you one thing, I am honestly glad I'm a life member of that organisation, because they are doing so much for shooters, and I really believe that they're our only hope in the future. So please, guys, check them out. Now, on to the more fun topic here, guys. As for the reviews, I've got a handful of reviews all ready to go because I've been editing footage that you know, I've had prior to actually collapsing and going into hospital. Plus, I've got some new reviews coming up. I do have the Taipan review coming, so please keep an eye out for that. That should be next month at the time of doing this review. I've got some really cool reviews that people have been asking for, such as, you know, a shoot off between like CZ and Ruger, you know, at the same time, using the same ammo to see which is the best. So I've got a couple of those reviews there. Some more ammo reviews I've done, covering some more like 22 Magnum ammo. I know I'm sort of on 22 Magnum at the moment, but there are other calibers that I wish to cover as well. Also too, I've got a couple of different CZ rifles that I'm reviewing. So yeah, I'm back in the full swing of it, guys, and here to stay. So look, we'll leave this video at that, but thank you for all your support when I was down and out. I had a lot of messages from a lot of people, but you know, as they say, only the good die young. So all right guys, we'll catch you on the next review.